Today we're going to be going over 10 performance-crushing fragrance clones that are suitable for the summer heat. The vast majority of my clones do have really good performance across the board. When I really take a step back and look at all of them, they all do surprisingly well. And another thing you have to consider is they're coming in at, one, a fraction of the price of what they're cloning, but two, just as a whole, generally a lot of these clones kind of fall in the cheapy category anyway. So these really do offer a lot of bang for your buck. But also a good bulk majority of that category of great performing clones more so lean towards the fall and winter season. Now, a lot of the very popular fragrances that we do look for clones of are more expensive, sweet, heavy scents, and so therefore they kind of are suitable for that time of year. But this video is focusing all on the fresher, warm weather style scents, which we can take advantage of right now. It's hot, it's humid, but you still want to have good performance. You want your scent to get you through the entire day, and these 10 will do it for you. I'm going to go over all of these, and I'm going to tell you a breakdown on each, and of course, what it is a clone of. And I'll drop links to these down below to discounters. Generally for clones, your best bet's going to be FRAGRANCEBUY.CA. That's where I have bought a lot of these clones from. Generally, they're one of the first discounters to get them in, and they offer them at some of the best prices. Some can be out of stock sometimes, so you just kind of had to be on the lookout for that. Alrighty, let's start out with LATTAFA FAKHAR Eau de Parfum. Now, this is going to be a clone of YSL EDP, which is a really nice warm weather scent. It can be a little bit sweet sometimes. I actually find that this clone in particular has a little bit more of an aromatic balance, which might make it a tad easier to pull off in really hot temperatures. Regardless of that, if you're sticking to climate-controlled environments or maybe summer evenings, you shouldn't have too much of an issue with this DNA. And it does get you very, very close to Y Eau de Parfum. Now, another option is from the same brand, Alhambra, which is LATTAFA, with an exclamation point, Eau de Parfum. And it looks like this right here. This is what it is. I'm going off on a little side tangent, but if you can find this one, go for it. Very similar still. The only difference is obviously the presentation is better. It looks more like YEDP. This definitely looks more cloney, but whichever one you can get your hands on is definitely worth it. Next up, we have AFNAN 9 AM Dive. Now, this one is a newer release from AFNAN, and it's kind of a flanker here. We have 9 PM, which is an ultra male clone. So in terms of flankers here, they are not related at all. A lot of clone brands are notorious for doing this. For example, look at the entire ARMAF Club de NUIT line. We have everything from BR540 to Creed Aventus to Le Male to going over to the Club de NUIT for women. You have like Tom Ford Noir de Noir. So there's a lot of random stuff all bunched up into the same line. Even Creed Millseam Imperial, Silver Mountain Water, and all of that. So it's a similar deal here. There's no correlation between this and 9 PM. But this one is actually kind of blue fragrance inspired. You get some citrus, you get some vetiver in here. And the way I've described this one is it's kind of a hybrid clone, and it takes a bunch of things that you're very familiar with and that you have smelled already and combines them into one. So it's not like it's a straight up clone of Sauvage or Bleu de Chanel or pick your favorite blue scent. It kind of takes a lot of the popular tropes of all of those and just essentially combines it into one and offers it to you at about $35 to $40 for 100 ml. It's a really competitive price for this one. It's a good performer and it's great for summertime. Next up, we have LATTAFA SUQRAAT, which is an Eau de Parfum concentration, and this is a clone of Acqua di Gio Profumo. Now, you know, at this point, it's going to be also a clone of Acqua di Gio Parfum. So essentially, you guys know the drill there. The Parfum is very similar to Profumo. It's just kind of the replacement, simplifying the line, or whatever it is. There's a couple small tweaks, but not enough to make it a huge deal. So this one's still going to give you some of that. Now, one thing about Acqua di Gio Parfum is it actually does lose a little bit of that grassy green opening. That part's a little bit more smooth. This one still has more of the grassy green opening modeled after Profumo. So accuracy-wise, it is very close to Profumo. They even got that small detail down, but you still get the smokiness, you still get the C notes, it still smells mysterious, it smells great for a summer evening out. This DNA is phenomenal, and it's going to be one that's a little bit more classy and upscale for the summertime. Let's jump over to ARMAF with this one, Très Nuit. It's been around for a while, very popular. It's a Green Irish Tweed clone, and it's a really good one. Now, Green Irish Tweed, I think, is probably generally looked at as a springtime scent. And I would say that it's probably more of a spring scent overall, especially when you talk about the actual smell of this and what it kind of inspires in you. Like whenever I smell this DNA, I think of the season of spring, 100%. But that doesn't mean that I stop wearing it when summer comes around. In fact, I still like to break it out and wear it. You still get this nice kind of green, almost slightly saltiness from the ambergris, a little bit of kind of an aromatic citric pop in here. It smells beautiful. This DNA is classy. It's refined. It's been out for so many years at this point, and it still smells modern. And of course, the real Green Irish Tweed is well up into the mid to upper 200s on discounters, into the 300s even. This is like 20 bucks. It's a great steal. It's a good performer. Next up, we have AZZARO Chrome Extreme. Now, this is actually going to be a clone of Acqua di Gio Profondo. So Profondo is going to be your better choice for those hot summer daytimes. So we were talking about Profumo earlier and the clone of that one. You can wear it during the daytime. I've done it many times. I've been wearing that one for the better part of going on 7 years now. But, you know, I think it is more suitable for the evenings. Profondo and things that smell similar to it like this really works well in that hot, humid summer heat that you experience in the daytime. There's something very cooling and refreshing about this one that you just can't really get from a lot of other scents out there. The DNA itself is very unique. It does stand out, and there aren't too many options for that type of heat that you would want to enjoy, because you start getting into some other types of scents and they're going to be too cloying and too sweet and quite annoying. But this DNA can still maintain an enjoyable wearing experience even when it is really hot out. Now, Profondo is every bit of 100 plus on discounters. This one's right around 40, maybe sometimes a little bit more. It just depends. But it's 100 mil. It's an eau de parfum. It's a great performer. It is a great alternative. Next up, we have LATTAFA MAAHIR Legacy. Now, this is going to be a clone of Parfums de Marly Sedley. Sedley is one of my personal favorite kind of fresh summer Parfums de Marly scents. If I had to pick two of them, it would be Sedley and Greenlee. And putting them head to head, Sedley would win, but it's not by a huge amount. I really like both of them. I think, again, when you're talking about their fresher summer offerings, which they don't have a ton, but of the ones they do have, those are the best to me. Percival would be coming in last place there. I just really can't get as excited about that one, but Sedley is great. And the unfortunate thing about it is they're expensive. Even on discounters, a lot of times they're offered up at full retail. That doesn't do you any good. Every so often, Fragrance By will get a bunch of them in and sell them for like $179, $178 for 125 ml, which is a great price off of retail, but they do go out pretty quick, and that doesn't necessarily happen all that often. They've had a few drops here lately, and every time they have updated that, I have sent out an email to my mailing list and a text to my SMS list. If you guys want to jump on board and get first dibs anytime something rare, discontinued, or hard to find comes into stock, or anytime a great sale like that comes up, hit the link down below, sign up, or send a text to the number down below. But MAAHIR Legacy is going to offer you that Sedley DNA and that kind of bright, refreshing overall smell for about, I think, $37. One thing that's cool is the presentation on this is really, really nice. It's heavy, it's high quality, it looks cool. Yeah, it still has a little bit of that clone bottle design going on, but not as bad as some of the others. Let's jump into another ARMAF with Iconic. Now, this is kind of another hybrid. However, I wanted to feature it because the performance does hold up, and this one does offer something to me that's quite attractive. And essentially what it is it's a combo of Roja Elysium and Bleu de Chanel. So you're getting some of that vetiver from Elysium, and that's kind of what makes that scent what it is. It's a very distinct vetiver accord. Of course, you're getting citruses as well, and even some fruits, black currant from Elysium, but the vetiver really runs it home. Jumping over to Bleu de Chanel, you get that grapefruit, you get the incense, you get some of the woods, of course, some of the amber. So you're kind of taking those best parts of each and putting them into one and offering it to you at right around $50 for 105 ml. So the opening starts off more Bleu de Chanel leaning. When you first smell it, it's like, yeah, this is a Bleu de Chanel cologne. Awesome. Or maybe not awesome if you don't like it. But then when you start wearing it more, you get it on skin and you start getting into the dry down, some of those Elysium components start coming into play. And so I really do think it's something that offers some value. Think about it. If you were to go out and buy both of the real deals, you would be in, I mean, talking retail prices, a little over $400. This is $50 for both of them. And of course, there's differences. And yes, you can wear one and not the other, and this is them combined. So many things, but that's one way to look at it. It seems like these hybrid clones are getting a little bit more popular, whether it's intentional or not, but I think it's a good thing. Let's move into Montblanc Legend Spirit. Now, this is kind of a inspiration of Invictus Aqua / Rasasi Howess and things like that. Now, you could just as easily put Howess in here. The only problem with that one, and it's not any fault of the scent, its availability can sometimes be tricky. It's been pretty good here so far, but we're also not in, I mean, we're kind of now getting into the real thick of summer, and it's really going to be getting hot, and I do think it might be sold out right now, and that's kind of where the issue comes. When it gets real hot, when summer is in full effect, that one just keeps going quicker and quicker. People are either getting it for the first time, they're picking up another bottle, they're buying it for friends, gifts, whatever. In the winter time, usually getting Rasasi Howess isn't all that hard. You can get it for around $45 or so. But in the summer, it does get a little bit more tricky, and the stock is a little bit more in and out, and then, you know, it gets harder to locate. So you can pick up Legend Spirit pretty much anywhere on any discounter for mid $30 range. I think sometimes this will even be available at like TJ Maxx and other rack stores if you wanted to go that direction as well. Ultimately, it gets you that DNA, a little bit more aromatic, I've noticed with this one, more lavender, more geranium, but still very close to that DNA. Great for summertime, nice and cheap, great performance. And we're going to end this video with HARAMAIN L'Aventure Intense. Now, this is going to be a Creed Aventus clone. I love Aventus, and for me, it's a summer scent. Now, I wear it all year round. Wintertime, if I'm going somewhere and I want to wear it, I wear it. It's no problem. But I do enjoy it the most in summer. I think it benefits from the heat. It really opens up. It comes to life. That's my favorite time to wear Aventus. I think for a lot of people, it doesn't come to their mind as a summer scent, but for me, it is up there. And so instead of going out and spending a bunch of money on the real deal, you can get yourself L'Aventure Intense for, I think it's about $40. Now, this one is very, very strong. It's a great performer. It's, in fact, one of the best performing Aventus clones on the market, at least out of all of the ones that I own, which is just about all of them. And especially when we're talking price per mil. Now, there's a lot of Parfums vintage clones as well, all of which are phenomenal. I haven't bought any in forever. I haven't been sent any in forever either. I don't really know what they're doing these days, but I still back their products, even not having any sort of relationship with them, business or otherwise. They have great clones, but they do come at a pretty heavy price. And if you were to buy 2 or maybe 3 or 4 of them, at that point you could go out and buy actual Creed Aventus. That's where it gets tricky. And even the same thing with more affordable Aventus clones as well. So when it comes down to it, if you just want to do a one and done scenario, you want great performance and you want to get close to Aventus, check out L'Aventure Intense. Alrighty guys, that's going to do it for me. 10 performance crushing fragrance clones for the summer heat. Links will be down below. A lot of those will probably take you on over to Fragrance By. Great selection of clones and designer and niche across the board. They've been becoming one of my favorite discounters. I shop there regularly. This is not an endorsement. I just use them often. They have a great selection. And again, if you're looking for anything rare, discontinued, hard to find, you want to stay up to date, you want to be notified of any and all fragrance sales, hit the first link down below, sign up to my mailing list, or send a text to the number down below, both of which are 100% free. You can unsubscribe at any time. It is a service offered to you to help you out. I'm taking all of the work of searching all these discounters every day and providing you guys the benefits and the results, which is great deals and hard to find items. Thank you so much for watching. Stay safe, stay healthy. We'll see you tomorrow with another one. Take care.